There's one question that changes everything in conversation. Most people never ask it because it feels too simple to matter. You have felt it before, that awkward stall in the chat. The other person answers in 2 words and the silence grows heavy. You start scrambling for something interesting to say next. Your mind goes blank and your chest tightens with quiet panic. This happens because you were taught to ask the wrong kinds of questions. You ask facts when you should be asking feelings underneath. Quiet people often carry a hidden fear about conversations entirely. They worry about being boring, dry, or socially forgettable to others. But here's the truth nobody told you about real connection. People do not open up because of clever words or charm. They open up because one question made them feel safely seen. That is the entire secret behind effortless conversations with anyone. In the next few minutes, you will learn 3 things clearly: the exact question, the psychology behind it, and the delivery. The third one is where most quiet people accidentally win everything. It will quietly change how every future conversation feels for you. Before the question, you need to understand why others stay closed. Most people walk through life feeling slightly unseen by everyone. They answer surface questions with surface answers all day long. Nobody ever asks them anything that touches the real layer underneath. So when you finally do, something inside them shifts immediately. Their shoulders soften, their eyes warm, and their voice slows down. This is the moment quiet people are naturally built to create. You already notice things loud people miss in every social situation. You already feel the small shifts in tone, posture, and silence. That observation skill is the foundation of the question you will learn. The question itself is short, warm, and almost disarmingly simple. It works on strangers, coworkers, dates, friends, and family members. Here's the question that opens people within 2 minutes. You ask them, "What has been on your mind lately, honestly?" That single sentence carries more weight than 100 small talk lines. It bypasses the script everyone uses to protect themselves daily. Notice the 3 words that do all the heavy lifting here: on your mind, lately, and the quiet word honestly at end. On your mind invites them past facts into actual inner thoughts. Lately gives them a soft time frame instead of demanding their whole life. Honestly signals you want the real version, not the polished one. Together, these words tell their nervous system that you are safe. Here is the part most people miss about asking this question. The magic is not in the words, but in how you ask. If you ask it like a checklist item, it will fail. If you ask it with calm presence, it opens them fully. This is where quiet people have an unfair social advantage already. You do not rush, perform, or fill silence with nervous energy. Your natural pace is the exact pace this question requires, perfectly. Slow it down, soften your eyes, and let the question land. Then comes the move almost nobody does after asking something deep. You stay completely silent and let them sit with the question. Most people panic in that 2-second gap and rescue them. They add another sentence, a joke, or a follow-up question. That tiny interruption tells the other person to stay on surface, so they retreat into polite small talk and the moment dies. Quiet people are naturally good at holding that small pocket of silence. Use that strength here because it is the entire unlock. Let me show you what this looks like in a real moment. You are at a work event next to someone you barely know. You make small eye contact and offer a small relaxed smile. You ask softly, "What has been on your mind lately, honestly?" They blink surprise, because nobody has asked them that in months. They give a half answer about being busy or feeling tired. You do not jump in with advice or your own story yet. You simply nod once and say, "Tell me more about that." That is the second tool that turns a question into a doorway. "Tell me more about that," said with genuine quiet curiosity always. Those 4 words signal that you're not just being polite. You actually want the deeper layer behind their first surface answer. And this is where it gets interesting for quiet, introverted people. You do not need a witty response, a story, or charm. You only need to keep your attention soft and fully present. That alone makes you more magnetic than the loudest person there. People remember how you made them feel, not what you said. When someone feels truly heard, they associate that feeling with you. That association is the real foundation of charisma in every relationship. It works in dating, friendships, networking, and family conversations equally. Now let me decode what is actually happening in their nervous system. When you ask a real question, their guard lowers slightly. When you stay silent, their brain registers you as emotionally safe. When you say tell me more, they feel genuinely valued instead. 3 small moves trigger a chemical shift toward trust and warmth. Their voice softens, their posture opens, and their eyes hold yours. You can actually watch this happen in real time across the table. A slight lean forward, a slower blink, a small genuine sigh. These are signs they have moved from performing to actually connecting. You created that shift without saying anything clever or impressive at all. Quick pause here, because I want to hear from you directly. Drop a comment with the last time someone truly listened to you. What did they do differently that made you feel safe to open? Your answer might help another quiet reader scrolling through these comments. Now back to the deeper layers of this one powerful question. There are 3 small variations you can use in different situations. For someone you just met, you ask it lighter and shorter. What has been on your mind this week? Anything good lately? For someone you know well, you ask it with more weight. What has actually been on your mind? The real version, honestly. For someone going through something visible, you ask it with care. You okay? Like really okay? What is sitting on your mind? Each version creates the same opening, but matches the relationship depth. Quiet people are naturally good at reading which version fits when. Here is another body language move that multiplies this question's power. Hold eye contact 1 beat longer than feels comfortable before asking. Not a stare, just a soft, steady presence that says, I see you. Then ask the question slowly, with about half your normal speed. That small slowness signals that this question is not a formality. It tells them you actually want the answer, not just noise. Most people never realize how much pace communicates in conversation already. Fast-paced signals nervousness, performance, or wanting to move past them. Slow pace signals presence, depth, and genuine interest in their answer. You already have a slow, natural pace as a quiet person. Stop apologizing for it and start using it as your signature. Your calm pace is what makes the question land so deeply. Now, here's one more practical phrase to pair with the question. After they share something real, you say, that makes sense actually. 3 small words that validate without judging, fixing, or one-upping them. Most people respond to vulnerability with advice, stories, or quick reassurance. You respond with simple recognition, and that is incredibly rare today. That makes sense actually, becomes a small gift in their entire week. Pair that with a tiny head nod and softened eye expression. You've just become the most memorable person they spoke with today. Let me give you one more advanced layer almost nobody teaches. After they answer, you do not need to share something equal back. Most people feel obligated to match vulnerability with their own story, but that often shifts focus back to you and closes them. Instead, ask one more gentle follow-up that goes slightly deeper. How long has that been sitting with you, or what is hardest part? This shows you are not collecting information for a future story. You are simply holding space for them to keep unfolding naturally. That holding of space is the rarest social skill in modern life. Everyone is performing, broadcasting, or waiting for their turn to talk. You become the still palm people want to look into deeply. They see themselves more clearly when they are talking with you. That reflection is what they fall in love with quietly over time. Friendships, attraction, trust, and respect all grow from that exact feeling. Now here is the final reveal I have been saving for last. The question that opens people is not really about the question. It is about who you have to become to ask it well. You have to actually care about the answer they give you. You cannot fake this with a clever script or memorized technique. The question fails the moment you ask it to seem interesting. It works only when you genuinely want to know the person better. That genuine curiosity is the real skill underneath every great conversation. And this is where quiet people have already won without knowing it. You are naturally observant, thoughtful, and curious about how people work. You notice the small details others miss in every social moment. You already have the inner material that makes this question powerful. You were never socially behind. You were just using the wrong tools. Loud charm was never your path because it was never needed. Your path is quiet presence, deep questions, and patient, genuine listening always. That path makes you unforgettable in a world full of noise. People will leave conversations with you feeling lighter, seen, and warmer somehow. They will not always know why, but they will seek you out. That is the secret power of being a quiet, curious, present person. You do not chase connection. You create the space for it. So tonight or tomorrow, try this with one person in your life. Ask them, what has been on your mind lately, honestly today? Then stay quiet, soften your eyes, and let them actually answer. Watch what happens in their face when you hold that space. Drop a comment below telling me which part of this resonated most. Was it the question, the pause, or the tell me more line? If this gave you something useful, subscribe and tap the notification bell. More quiet social skills are coming that no one else teaches. You were never too quiet for this world. You were tuned differently. Your stillness is not a flaw. It is a soft kind of power. The right question, asked the right way, opens any heart in minutes. And you, quiet one, were built to ask it better than anyone.